Honorable Men Discord, Lawsuit Season 3, Hokey Pokey Smokey. Let's talk about it. As always, thank you for joining me on another episode. I know the title is humorous but this is not actually a funny thing. The reason why I'm doing these lawsuit seasons is because the reckoning has begun. All right? Now, again, like all the other lawsuits that I've covered, it's not to say whether or not these individuals are guilty or not. It's just to show you that when you're out there, be careful. Okay? Be careful. Now, if these individuals are guilty, then obviously they deserve whatever is going to come with the verdict. But if they're not, be careful out there because and I'm not trying to say that these allegations are fake, because if these people are in fact victims, again, they deserve justice. But once one door opens and lawsuits are out there in the public's eyes, it's a snowball effect. It's a snowball effect because it just seems like it's lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. I don't know up to what number I'm going to get to with this lawsuit season, but don't be surprised if I get up to 4, 5, 6. But right now we're here to talk about Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson's name is synonymous when you think of the legendary label Motown. That's Smokey Robinson. All right. Smokey Robinson is a legend for soulful music. Known for that song Cruise. Baby, let's cruise. That's Smokey Robinson. And no, I'm not trying to actually carry the note, but it's a shame. Smokey Robinson is in his 80s, I believe. Let me look this up. Smokey Robinson. What's going on, Smokey Robinson? Look, a name popped up right away, probably because of the lawsuit. 85 years old. 85 years old, Smokey. And you have to go through this lawsuit at 85. 85, I just want to be sipping drinks, watching sports, or on a beach somewhere. I don't want to be dealing with a lawsuit if I'm blessed to make it to 85. But let's get right into the news report. This is courtesy, I want to believe this is Fox 11. And let's get into it.
In the middle?
We need a chair. We need another chair.
In the middle? I can make the chair. Can you see?
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming here today. My name is John Harris, and this is my partner, Herbert Hayden, with the firm of Harris and Hayden. 3 of our 4 clients are present here today. They've been identified as Jane Does. There's one appearing remotely who...
Okay, that's something I failed to mention. 4 women are accusing him of assault. Ouch. It's one thing to be accused by one female. You have legs to stand on. There's room to play with. Because it's like, okay, she could be possibly making this up to get to the money. Anytime it's more than one, ouch. And I'm not an expert in law. Ouch. Okay? Shannon Sharpe, his situation was one female, and I think there's another one that's possibly coming out. I'm not sure, but Shannon Sharpe has some room to play with. But difference between Shannon Sharpe and this is Shannon Sharpe, that female has text message, audio. So his is a little bit different. It's still not a great position to be in for anyone that I've covered in lawsuit season. I think the best one so far, as far as litigation is concerned, is possibly Chris Brown. All right. It might be Chris Brown. He might be the best one right now as far as possibly... Actually, no, I didn't cover Shannon Sharpe in lawsuit season. Correction. I covered Chris Brown. I covered Mary J. Blige. right? So Mary J. Blige, I don't know what's going on with that one. I don't know if it's gonna stick. That seems like it's more of a civil suit, if I'm not mistaken. But this right here, uh, with Smokey Robinson, you have 4 people accusing him of assault. Good luck on that one. That and three, what this attorney saying, 3 of them are actually present right now at this press conference. This is not looking good for Smokey Robinson at 85 years old. Gentlemen, learn something from this. All right. If there's nothing else, learn something from this. Let's get back to it.
Probably see on the screen. Also is Miss Guzman, who's interpreting for us today. This is to announce that earlier today in Los Angeles Superior Court, we filed a complaint against William Smokey Robinson Jr. and his spouse, Frances Robinson. The principal causes of action against Mr. Robinson in particular are sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment. Obviously, these ladies are identified in the lawsuit as Does, Jane Does 1 through 4, to protect their privacy, since the lawsuit involves sexual misconduct of the worst sort. We're seeking damages of $50 million. Obviously, no amount of money can compensate these women for what Mr. Robinson subjected them to. But given the gravity of Mr. Robinson's despicable and reprehensible misconduct that is further detailed in the complaint, this amount is clearly warranted. Our 4 clients have a common thread. They're Hispanic women who were employed as housekeepers by the Robinsons, earning below minimum wage. As low-wage workers in vulnerable positions, they lack the resources and options necessary to protect themselves from sexual assaults throughout their tenure as employees for the Robinsons. Let me briefly summarize each of their individual claims. I will not describe the details of the sexual assaults and rapes because they're too graphic and disturbing for this news conference. But
Say it ain't so, Smokey. At 85, he can't even say it. It's too graphic. At 85, what are you doing, Smokey? If this is true, because it's allegedly until it's, until the proof comes out. But say it ain't so, Smokey. 85 years old. I hope it's not so.
Read them in the complaints that we have provided with many of you today. Let's talk about Jane Doe number 1. She worked for the Robinsons for a little over a year, from January 2023 to February 24. Mr. Robinson first sexually assaulted and raped her in March of 23, as detailed in the complaint. What he would do was summons her to his blue bedroom, which you'll probably be hearing about later on. After having just showered, he would come out of the adjoining bathroom naked and proceed to force her to have sex with him against her will.
Él está haciendo conmigo y pues está diciendo que no se puede. Y puso una toalla en su cama y empezaba que tuvieran sexo conmigo.
He sexually assaulted and raped her in this manner 7 times. She quit in February 2024 because she could no longer endure these sexual assaults. Jane Doe number 2. She worked for the Robinsons from May 2014 to February 2020. Smokey Robinson's modus operandi was somewhat different with her. He would ask her to meet him in areas in the home where there were no cameras. There were 2 such places or areas in their Chatsworth home, the garage and the laundry room. When she would meet him at this location, he would immediately begin to sexually assault and rape her, causing her excruciating pain. He sexually assaulted and raped her in this manner 23 times. She was forced to resign because she, too, could no longer endure Mr. Robinson's sexual assaults. Jane Doe number 3. She worked for the Robinsons as a housekeeper from February 2012 to April 2024. Her story is quite similar to the others. Mr. Robinson would call her into his blue bedroom where he would sexually assault and rape her. This occurred approximately 20 times. And like the others, she quit in April of 2024 due to the repeated sexual assaults against her. Jane Doe number 4. She worked the longest as a housekeeper for the Robinsons from October 2006 to April 2024. He raped her in 3 of their homes, namely the Chatsworth home, the Las Vegas home, and the Bell Canyon homes. He had a preoccupation of fondling her breasts and touching her all over her body against her will. She too quit in April of 2024. The obvious question that one will ask, and I suspect most will, why didn't they report Robinson's criminal misconduct to law enforcement or go public before now? As I said before, these women were all low-wage earners living from paycheck to paycheck. They all feared missing a payday and not being able to pay their rent or buy food for their families. And also, Smokey's Robinson's celebrity status intimidated them and all made them feel powerless. I want to add that these 4 women were afraid of shame, familial humiliation, and embarrassment. The stigma that still exists in some cultures that unfortunately blames a rape victim for the assault perpetrated against them. And having to tell their husband and children of these despicable acts against them left them overwhelmed with shame and embarrassment.
I'm just gonna stop it here real quick. Although this is a men's channel, there are women that come across my videos and watch the video. By no means, if these allegations are true, do I condone something like this. So I want to make that clear. And although earlier on in this video, I'm basically telling gentlemen, you got to be careful out there because there are false claims that are made as it pertains to SA cases. But do understand that some of these cases are true cases. These are true events that did take place where these women are victims. And for that reason, like I said also earlier, if in any of these lawsuit seasons episodes that I cover, if these people are guilty, they deserve to be prosecuted to the fullest extent, including big names as they may be. Smokey Robinson, if he did in fact do these things, like I said, there's more than one females coming out saying this, so I'm leaning towards the females in this particular situation. If you feel that I'm wrong for doing so, then I'll see you in the comments. But once it's a number of women, that paints a picture of a pattern. And that's not to say that one female coming out accusing someone of a SA situation is giving false information. That's not to say that one woman is lying if she comes out and says that she experienced SA. But this is crazy. At 85 years old, there's got to be other solutions. All right. And yeah, there's got to be alternatives than to do this. But this is what happens when you have a name. The money and power really goes to people's head. This is a real thing. And it's not just for millionaires and big time movie stars and big time musicians. This is 9-to-5 people, corporate America. Money and power go to people's heads. This is just a fact. This is not an assumption. This is a fact. There's no reason why at 85 this is taking place. But although there's a lot of African American males that are caught up in these type of things, this happens to all males of all nationalities, because Arnold Schwarzenegger had a illegitimate son by his housekeeper when he was married. If you don't know about that, look that one up. And I'm not saying that to throw Arnold under the bus. I'm just showing that these things do happen. So it's not so far-fetched to hear that, Smokey Robinson potentially assaulted 4 women that was his housekeepers, especially as this attorney saying they were underpaid. But let's continue.
So throughout their dreadful experiences with Mr. Robinson, all 4 women remained silent because many of them worked at the same time. Too embarrassed to reveal their assaults by Mr. Robinson to each other. Once they broke their silence, an avalanche of emotions began to flow between them. Hence, they're all here today. These courageous 4 women have collectively decided to come forward and share their experiences of being sexually assaulted by Mr. Smokey Robinson and stand up for their rights, as well as the rights of other women. Particularly those that may be victimized by him in the future. We believe that Mr. Robinson is a serial and sick rapist that must be stopped. We further believe that these 4 women's testimony as to Mr. Robinson's sexual assaults and battery against each of them will be unassailable and compelling. Our clients, these 4 courageous women, want and demand justice for themselves, and the filing of this lawsuit is the first step of their journey to achieve that objective. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Herbert Hayden. I just want to echo some of the sentiments that you just heard from my partner, John Harris. We want to applaud our clients, these 4 women, for the courage that they've demonstrated since they've retained us as their attorneys to bring them justice, to bring to light what they have endured for countless years until they decided that they'd had enough and left the employment of the Robinsons. So with that being said, at this point in time, I'd like to take your questions regarding the case. We'll go right here with the...
I just want to, what brought these women together? Did they share their stories together? Because it sounds like some of the employment overlapped. Did they know what was going on with each of them? And did that then cause them to say, wait a minute, this isn't just happening to me, we can come together as a group?
I don't want to get too much into the particulars of the initiation of the lawsuit. Obviously, the women all worked together. Some of their shifts did overlap, and there was a common thread between them that led to the filing of the lawsuit today. For any further questions, I direct you to our email address, press@harrishayden.com.
Can you talk about Frances Robinson's role in the alleged misconduct, what she did and what she is accused of?
Well, I think that the complaint speaks for it in great detail. We believe she was aware of the misconduct by her husband, Smokey Robinson, and that she used their status as well as our client's reliance on their living wage in order to keep them in check. And so we believe that, among other things, is what brings Ms. Robinson into the case.
I don't think I need to go any further on this. It sounds as though Mrs. Robinson might find herself locked up also if they in fact lose this case, which I don't see why they wouldn't lose this case. And if there's more detail and facts, which I'm sure the attorneys have more detail and facts on this SA case and proof from the four women, the more evidence is what I was actually looking to say. With more evidence, I don't see how he wins this. I really don't. And that's just an outsider looking in, obviously. But what's your take on all of this? I think at 85, what exactly are you doing? And the fact that his wife was allowing this, that sounds kind of crazy, unless maybe she, I don't know, she's unable to perform, and so she looks at it like, whatever makes you happy. But even still, as a woman signing off on that, these women aren't they're not agreeing to this type of conduct. So why would Miss Robinson knowingly just co-sign that type of behavior, unless she doesn't have a choice? Because maybe maybe he's violent. We don't know how he is. We don't know Smokey Robinson personally, but I'm not judge or jury. So I'm just like, with all these other lawsuit season episodes, we just got to see what the courts say, what evidence comes out. But this is just crazy to have to deal with that at 85. At 85, it doesn't matter how healthy of a lifestyle you're living. Every day is not promised. So choosing to act in this manner, if this is in fact true, what these women are alleging, choosing to act in that manner at 85 is just absurd. But that's just my opinion. Let me know your opinions in the comments. Wow. This is going to be a year of reckoning from Diddy to Shannon Sharp. Mary's dealing with her stuff. Chris Brown, as I mentioned. And now Smokey. I don't know what to think of all this. This is crazy. But that's all I have for today. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.